First, let's talk military. The U.S. Army announcing a push to improve warfighting capabilities with new tech, increasing drone availability, speeding up networks with Starlink, and rolling out brand new smart tanks and autonomous helicopters. This comes as the Army has exceeded recruitment goals each month since President Trump was reelected. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll is here, and Army Chief of Staff General Randy George is back. Welcome to both of you. Secretary Driscoll, tell me about the new approach to modernizing the Army attack plan.
So what we've learned in the last couple of years of the conflict in Ukraine is that the old way of doing war will no longer suffice. And under the leadership of President Trump and Secretary of Defense Hegseth, they basically have empowered the United States Army to go make the hard decisions and the hard changes to reallocate our dollars to best position our soldiers to be the most lethal that they can be. And these are hard decisions. These are legacy systems that have been around for a long time. There's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of lobbyists around them. But with the leadership of those gentlemen in our chain of command, we have been empowered to go do what's right.
So, General, we'll talk about legacy. A lot of times when you spend all the decades in the military, there's a certain way of doing things. Are you open to hooking up with Starlink, to seeing a chopper take off without a pilot? We see what's happening with drones now that look like planes.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I mean, we're doing that, and, you know, we don't have a challenge with the innovation. The innovation's happening down with our soldiers. We're changing formations. Right now, we had an exercise where we had more than 200 drones in a brigade combat team. We're watching what's happening. We know we need to change, and, you know, if there's one thing, we just can't go fast enough. We got to speed that change.
Right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Brian, this is day 66, and so the way I've split up those first days is half in the building, half out of the building. And the one thing I can say is the American soldier is innovative. They are smart. They are hungry for change. They know what needs to be done. And what we as civilians need to do a lot of the times is just get out of their way. And with what President Trump has been empowering the different agencies to do, that's exactly what's happening in the Pentagon now.
And, you know, the great news, General George, is you got numbers. This is very encouraging. This time we have unemployment at 4%, so people have options, and they're choosing the military. In February, you're 115% of the target. In January, 114. In December, over 108. What does that do for your approach and your game plan and your battle plans?
Yeah, well, we're very happy with that, Brian. We're up in every category, and actually, you know, some of our biggest recruiting months are ahead of us here through this summer. I think we're more than 90% right now. Obviously, we want to fill our formations. We're getting all the people that we need. You know, actually, the good, problem is, you know, we may have to look at how many of these folks that we can accept. So it's a great problem. People want to be a part of the Army. And we're looking forward to filling our formations.
And one of the amazing things, too, Brian, is our retention numbers. So if you were thinking of, like, what is a trailing indicator of success as an Army, like when you look at soldiers, how do we measure if they think the leadership they have is good? And I would say it's retention, how many soldiers sign back up to stay in. Under President Trump and Secretary of Defense Hegseth's leadership, we hit our 12-month retention goal 6 months into the year because that's how strong their leadership has been so far.
And, General, $1 trillion is going to go into the Pentagon. There's a push from this administration responsibly to put money into the Pentagon. Can you combine that with leaning out the way you buy things and the way you use things to maybe let you guys pass an audit and fully use that money to the best of its ability?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, that's our responsibility, is to make sure we're spending every dollar, every taxpayer dollar, you know, talking to Congress and make sure we're briefing them on what we're doing. So that's exactly what this is about. We want to we're cutting headquarters, we're cutting some of the bloat, making sure that we get after the inefficiencies so that we're completely focused on buying war-winning technologies, and that's exactly what we need to do.
And finally, real quick, Mr. Secretary, what's it like having a warfighter leading the Pentagon who will go out there doing push-ups and do training with the men and women who serve?
Having Secretary Hegseth has been transformational for this building. He does not take no for an answer. When he gets an order from the president, he empowers us with our military colleagues to go get it done. It is a mission-first mindset that is a soldier-first mindset in the Army. And from what we've heard as we've traveled and talked to soldiers, this is a new way of approaching it. It was not like this under the previous administration. We are empowered to go make the warfighter as lethal as they have ever been.
And I feel great about it. Thanks so much, Mr. Secretary Driscoll, and always great, General Randy George. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for what you did.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.